Извежда се към крайните доста чувствителни. Се извежда така от негативен тип. Така че все повече от тези.
Good morning everyone. We're just going to start very shortly in about a minute. So good morning, everyone. I'm glad that you're all here, and today we have a guest who is going to present us a rather new report. Our guest is Monica Vidal. Hi, Monica. Good morning. And Monica is a campaign coordinator at Climate Action Network Europe, with over 15 years of experience leading initiatives to decarbonize the buildings and promote sustainable heating solutions. Previously, she has been a director of public policy and climate governance at ECODES, which is a Spanish environmental NGO. And there she was shaping the energy policy across Europe and fostering collaboration between businesses, NGOs, and policymakers. She has an academic background in environmental sciences with a master's in industrial ecology. And today we're going to present a briefing by Climate Action Network Europe, a briefing which is named Making Renewable Heating Accessible and Affordable, overcoming market barriers in the rental sector. And it is a briefing that we translated in Bulgarian, so we're going to share it with you after the webinar. And Monica, I'll give you the floor now. And we are going to talk today about how to make the transition, the energy transition, accessible to all, to the not only to the homeowners, but how to make the energy transition accessible and affordable in the rental sector, for the people who are renting, and what is basically their role into the energy transition, what is the role of the tenants and the homeowners in the energy transition. So Monica, the floor is yours. I think that you can share your screen now, so we are ready to start.
Yeah, thank you, Svetoslav. I'm sharing my screen. I hope you can see it now.
Yes, maybe you can just go full screen. It will be.
I'm full screen, right?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome everyone. I'm Monica Vidal, as Svetoslav said. I'm very happy to be here with you today. And today the idea is to present you the briefing that we elaborate at CAN Europe in collaboration with our members, including Sasemiata, about making renewable heating accessible and affordable also in the rental sector. But before I start with the briefing, I will give you just an idea who we are at CAN Europe, because maybe some of you don't know us. So CAN Europe, we are a network of NGOs working at EU level, fighting dangerous climate change and leading joint lobby campaigns and maximize their impact. So we are more than 200 members, active in more than 40 countries right now. And maybe also, I think is also good for you to understand in the framework of in which framework we elaborate this briefing, because at Can Europe, when I joined Can Europe almost 3 years ago, one of my main objectives was to start from the scratch a new campaign, and this is this one, the One House for All campaign. To promote the renewable heating solution for all homes across Europe. So this is a solution-oriented campaign, co-created with members and also working with partners. And what we want, our aim is to support the change at national level. That's why the idea is to elaborate materials, like for example, this briefing that could be useful also for our members to promote these solutions at national level. So this is a pan-European campaign. So the idea is to work at the EU level, but also with NGOs working outside the European Union. So we favorize the participation also from organizations working, for example, in the Balkans region and also in Turkey and UK. So maybe also, I think it's important to give you, before I start presenting you the briefing that we produced this year, I think it's also nice to share with you that last year, we elaborate another briefing that also Sasimiata translated and disseminated at national level, with the idea to explore the barriers and the solutions for the deployment of sustainable renewable heating solutions. So in this briefing that maybe Svetoslav can share with you again, the idea was to identify the barriers. So we divided, we have the barriers for the user demand, for the industrial, for the political part, and also we included some conclusions. And of course, with no surprise, one of the main problems, one of the main barriers that we identified was the upfront cost of these renewable heating solutions. What we tried to include also in this briefing was part of the solutions or recommendations that we suggest to reduce the upfront cost, and of course to make the transition to renewable heating solution also possible for the people that are more vulnerable or maybe using that they are in energy poverty. So the idea is to that we give and we put the money, the public money first in the people with more needs. But apart from that, that's okay. If people that are vulnerable and they need that help to renovate their home and also to upgrade the renewable heating solution that they have, the heating system that they have at home. Even if we find this money to do that, we still have problems, and we have like a black spot when we are talking about the rental sector, because most part of the solutions that we can find are directed to the people, to the owners, let's say. So that's why this year we wanted to do this briefing. Also because you know that in Europe, well, most of you that we are all today in the call, you know about the climate crisis in which we are, and we are all fighting for that. But we are also living a housing crisis right now. And what we believe is that looking for solutions to reduce the impact of the residential sector need to take into account this situation. So we cannot avoid this situation where we are promoting solutions for the building sector. And also because there is a general consensus that, to be fair, this energy building transition should prioritize vulnerable households. But most of the instruments that we have to do that, they don't address tenants, and even less vulnerable tenants in particular. That's why we produced this briefing this year. And you can see here that the English version and also the Bulgarian one that Svetoslav will share with you, but also our colleagues from Spain in ECODES, they also translated and disseminated the briefing yesterday. So let's start about some numbers. In the CE region, the percentage of the people renting is very low. For example, we can look at the case of Bulgaria, and it's only 50%. But if we see the big numbers about Europe, there is 30% of the Europeans living in a home that they do not own. A figure that is even bigger in countries as Germany and Denmark, and especially in some European cities. In the capitals, these numbers should be normally are bigger. For example, for the case of Brussels or Paris or Madrid, and especially in cities, for example, like Barcelona, where there is a lot of tourists as well. So these numbers are bigger. So what we propose is to bring the landlord-tenant dilemma into the discussion, because this dilemma is like these tenants, they have little control, if any, over the investment decision that concerns the house or the apartment they inhabit. It's the owners who do the decisions, and normally the owners, they don't benefit from the investment. So that's the result is suboptimal decisions, and that's what we call this split incentive situation, no? The landlord-tenant dilemma. So what the first thing what we say, okay, let's recognize that we have this landlord-tenant dilemma when we do public policies as well. That's the first point. And also we need to acknowledge that people renting, they have more on risk to suffer energy poverty. Last week, I saw a report about the numbers at EU level with a breakdown by countries, and these numbers are even increasing. So that's why we need a solution also for the rental sector, because it's in this sector where the most of the people that are suffering energy poverty live. What we need to do, first of all, we need to build on what already exists. So we need to promote the renewable heating through the building stock. So even if this is not addressed to the rental sector, because we need to improve the situation and the conditions, the energy performance of our buildings, depending if the people that live there are owners, are landlords, and are tenants, etc. So let's build on what already exists. And for that, I mean that to improve the framework conditions, to end the support of fossil fuel heating, phase out fossil fuel heating, to do a proper taxation of environmental harmful fuels used for heating. Then we need to provide financial support, as we were saying, for the upfront cost is what we can do. We need to organize the grants, loans, on-bill and off-bill financing, tax cut, and maybe also to promote the other innovative solutions, like, for example, the heat as a service. But also we need to plan the transition. Within the energy efficiency directive, now we have the heating and cooling plants. So at local level, cities, they need to organize this transition at local level. And these need to be linked with the national building renovation plans that also at national level they need to organize. So we need to plan this transition. But in this planning, in this planification, we need to take into account also that there is people that they don't own the apartment or the house that they inhabit. And that's the second point. We need to fill the gaps, because we need also to ensure that there is a necessary social safeguard that are placed to protect tenants. This and also, for example, this social safeguard could be like to avoid that the landlords, they can increase the rents. For example, in case that they renovate the building. The third point that we highlight in the briefing is that also the social and affordable housing that can help us to address the supply side barriers while prioritizing the most vulnerable. That's mean that we believe that the social housing providers and the social agencies, they have a key role to play in the building decarbonization transition, because social housing is typically rental housing. So they are part of the rental housing sector. They own and managed by the state normally or by non-profits, and with the aim of providing affordable housing. And they own large stock of homes, and they might be more willing to improve the condition of the people that live there, the tenants. And so a strong renovation movement within the social housing sector are in place in some countries. What we wanted to highlight in the briefing is that we need to try to do that even more, because if we want to prioritize vulnerable in this transition, and the vulnerables live in the rental sector, we have the social housing sector that will be one of the main blocks that we should prioritize, and we need to support that model at local and regional level as well. And of course, information. Information is power, and we need to facilitate the access to this information about the how to switch to renewable heating, not only for owners, but also for tenants. And so they understand also, the landlords and tenants, they understand the added value of renewable heating in their properties. So, for example, when at national level they are organizing and they are thinking and starting the one-stop shops to facilitate, for example, the renovation and the transition to renewable heating, let's include also information for landlords and for tenants. So the conclusions, the main conclusions of the briefing are that while specific tools tailored for the rental sector will be needed, because of course we will need some specific measure for the rental sector, a significant part of the solutions involve ramping up the existing efforts accompanied by social safeguard. And these include the implementation of the policies, the financial incentives, and also the planning instrument that we need to do that encourage renewable heating for all property owners. And also we need to recognize the key role of the social housing providers, as I said, and the social rental agencies, because they can pull the demand for renewable heating system in the social housing. And like that, we can address also the supply side barriers, including a lack of workers and supply chains. And let's finish with the bigger picture, because if we want a transition to be affordable and accessible for renewable heating in the rental sector, this is not only possible, but it's vital for a sustainable future. And of course, that requires a collaboration effort from the EU institution, as well as the national and the regional and the local governments, implementing these recommendations to overcome the market barriers as well. Because if we want to see a society where everyone can enjoy the benefits of the energy efficient and affordable and a climate resilience home, that's the way to do it. Thank you very much, and here you have my contact details as well. If you want to share any information about this or all the things related to renewable heating, of course. And maybe I can stop sharing my screen so I can see you all in case you have comments or questions. I'm very happy to answer if it's possible, if I can.
Thank you, Monica, for the overview. And I just have a couple of questions from my side, and then I'm going to open in about 10 minutes the space for questions from the audience. So you can just think of something that you want to address. The first thing that I want to ask you, Monica, is are there already some good examples from across Europe for the inclusion of tenants and landlords in this transition? Um, can you think of a good example that we can just look at and try to implement in other places?
Well, yesterday we organized the Renewable Heating and Cooling Day, and in that for these discussions we invited Alliance Citoyenne. It's an organization with it's a tenant trade union, let's say, and working in France, specifically in Lyon. And for me, I think this is the way we have as tenants, as organization, trying to promote the accessibility also. So what they are doing is try to see that they are unite and they have demands, let's say, and they succeed, for example, in the expansion of the district heating in Lyon, and I think that's one of the ways. So let's yeah, be together, and so that they have demands that they want to live in a house, an apartment that is more energy efficient, and they want to, yeah, to enjoy the possibility to have a renewable heating solution in their home as well. So I think that's one of the ways. Of course, more in the we need to see in the we need to see to the future. So with the national building renovation plans, it will be a public consultation to put this to inform this process. So I think we need to ensure that the civil society are part of this public consultation, but also tenants, because they are part of the problem and the solution, I say. So I think this is one of the things that we as a civil society organization, we should promote as well.
Thank you, Monica. And just one more thing from my side. What about the most vulnerable? What about the ones in energy poverty? How are they going? How are they being addressed? How are they're being included in in this? Because the thing is that we know, especially in the situation in Bulgaria and in other countries in Central and Eastern Europe, uh, 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 one of the greatest barriers is lack of information and basically lack of trust in the government that anything could be done for them. So, what is your opinion? How the people in energy poverty or just um, the vulnerable groups, the Roma communities, the elderly, how they could be included in this transition in your opinion?
I think we discussed about this a lot in the past. I remember conversation with you about that, and I think that one-stop shops should be the way to inform the population about the solutions, to help them in the administrative process. But it's true that for this sector, and or even more specific sector, like for elderly, etc., there is a lack of trust in maybe in the public, from the public sector, as you say. And of course, this different from region to region, country to country. So in my opinion, I think this one-stop shop need to be first. One of the demands is that this is happen at a neighborhood level, because people, they trust their neighbor normally, and for that also we need to work together with the organizations that are already in contact with these people, because they trust them, because they know them, they know what they need. So for example, I'm thinking about the in collaboration with them.
So I can see that a participant has a question. So Asen, maybe you can just unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Monica, for this briefing. I was wondering how to invite some solutions on landlord-tenant dilemma if tenants have no joint activities, even if in the direction of self-organizing themselves in an organization. So is it possible to address the community problem without engaging in an active group? This is my question.
Sorry, I'm afraid I have problems with my connection. So I don't know if you can repeat the question, but because I couldn't hear it. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm canceling the video and repeating the question. So how to invite some solutions on landlord-tenant dilemma if tenants have no joint activities, even in the direction of self-organizing in some kind of organization, informal or formal, it doesn't matter. So is it possible at all to address a community problem like this without engaging in an active group?
I think it's more difficult indeed, because when you want to try to make a change, for example, or I'm in this situation, I'm a tenant, and I really wanted to change my gas boiler for a heat pump. And so when you do that as individual to your landlord, it's much more difficult to make that change. But for example, but of course, the information is the solution, right? If you have the information, in my case, I have the information, so I'm informing my landlord that if they don't change that, then maybe in the future they cannot continue to rent in this house, because the energy efficiency, the energy label for the house, it will be updated. But so I think information is the power. So you need to share with them what will happen. But of course, because I live in France, and we have a law now that they need to upgrade the energy efficiency of the house. If not, they will be out of the rental sector. So we need both. Of course, we need some sticks from the administrative part, but also we need information as tenants or owners. We need also this information, and I think is the way. But if we can work as a group, we will have much more power.
I'm going to use the space to jump in right now, because I just thought of something really interesting. Because the thing is that I guess the majority of the people renting, at least in Bulgaria, they live in buildings with district heating. So how is the situation? Can we influence somehow the greening of the district heating as tenant? It is really hard to do it as an owner, but as a tenant, it should be even harder. So yeah, just maybe the country to country difference. It's big, but the thing is that in Bulgaria, at least in the bigger cities where where a lot of people are renting, they're renting flats connected to the district heating usually. So how we can address that? Do you have some ideas?
Well, in this case, because indeed the how we heat our homes, right, it is very different from country to country. That's why the solutions need to be adapted to the regional local context. And of course, I'm not an expert on district heating. I will not, to be honest. I never been in an apartment connected to a district heating, but talking with colleagues that they've been working on this, because this is one of my guests. No? Okay, what for the people that are connected to a district heating. But in this case, I think then you can be aligned with the rest of the people that they are owners. So in this situation, you are not alone, because if there's an interest in the neighborhood or in the city to really to improve on to decarbonize the district heating, then you will be benefit. You as a tenant, you will benefit from that. So I think in that case, as tenants, you are less. The problem is not that important. I mean, the difference between owners and tenants in this case, I think, is less important. The big problem is how we decarbonize district heating, right?
Thank you, Monica. And now for the audience, do we have some questions for the from the audience? Of course, I have a lot of them, but I'm just going to give you a chance to ask.
And of course, you can share my email address, and if everybody wants to send me a comment or question after the webinar, I will be more than happy to answer that. And of course, it's what we want to do with this briefing is just to start the discussion about this, because we thought for us, I think it's like the rental sector is like a black spot when we are talking about buildings or energy transition. And at least I think we don't have the solution for everything. Of course, we don't. And with this briefing, we just wanted to start the discussion, put this in the, let's talk about this, because if we really want to prioritize vulnerables, we need to take into account that most of them, not in every country, of course, but in many countries, most of them, they live in the rental sector. That's why we cannot avoid this situation. So I just wanted to say that this is as a first step that we are doing in this direction. And of course, if you have more information, things that we can use in the future to go more in deep on this, I will be very happy to read it out and to continue discussing with you.
And just one more thing from my side. Is there anything that the member states and the municipalities, like member states, European member states, and the municipalities on a European level are doing right now to ensure that the tenants and landlords are supported? Is it something existing right now, or this is just something to think of in the future?
No, I think, for example, we have these examples in Flanders, in Belgium, or for example here in France, and that that they are putting some rental caps, so they cannot. So the landlords, they cannot increase the rent if they do renovations, for example. This is a way. It's a social safeguard. This is a social safeguard to protect tenants. So I think that's one of the ways to do it. And also, for example, in the case of France, that they are putting a limit. No, they are doing okay. If your property is not energy efficiency enough, you will not put it in the rent. It will not be possible for you to put it in the rental sector. So if you want, in that case, you have two options. One, you sell the property, or you renovate the property. So in that, I think that's some of the options that we already identified in the briefing. So you can have a look in the briefing about the dates, about the energy efficiency of the buildings, also the examples of from Flanders and France. And yeah, I think that's the way. Also, for example, what we from the BBL, the Flanders NGO organization, they want one of the proposals that they have for the regional government is to because now in Flanders there is an obligation to like it's a if when you transfer, when you sell the property, what they are asking is that if you sell, so the owner, they need to change the heating system, like an obligation. This is one of the demands that they have, and that could be an option also for other countries.
Thank you, Monica. Do we have questions from the audience? Yes, Bassem?
Yeah, thank you. I was wondering, linked to my first question, if we don't know actually how the process of building certification or energy efficiency certification of the apartments and building will go in Bulgaria, and because it's pushed away every time, and I don't see how and when this actually will be applied. And in this fluid situation, I don't know, volatile situation, I don't know if the landlords could be actually engaged in some reasonable thinking in the direction of actually thinking, what if the regulation actually is not letting me lend this property if it's not fit some regulations as a certification, for example, and some energy audit or some activities done to lower its environmental or climate impact. So this is my more like a comment or a question, how to make the landlords think 10 years from now ahead.
If I understood correctly, is what do we do if we don't have this administrative this sticks, right? If there is no certification,
Yes,
if we don't, okay. So I guess we in that case in these countries, even if we have these certifications, I think well, one of the most important things is to raise awareness about the importance to renovate their homes and to change the heating system, not only for the climate change impact, but also about the health, you know, the consequences of burning fossil fuels in the house, about also about the problems that we can have if we don't have enough temperature comfort in the house. So I think we need to raise awareness about the importance for the people, no? That renovate the house, upgrade the heating system. It will be only beneficial for the people. So we need to also that will improve everyone's life in the end.
So I see one question in the chat. It's just popped in. Are there some specific measures that promote the change for green energy for the first people that renovate their homes, like taxes or something other?
For a green energy for the first people that renovate their homes. Well, yeah, for example, in certain countries, they promote a lot the renovation of the homes. They at national level, for example, in France, they have the Ma Prime Rénov. Also they were very success in promoting this so everybody knows about this, and so they have a lot. They are giving a lot of money to the people to renovate, and so I think is yeah, this is one of the ways, and of course to reduce taxes when you renovate, when you do taxes if you've been renovating your home or upgrading your heating system. You have it's beneficial for you when you do your taxes, and for example that's made me think about all about the promotion of this information, right? Because sometimes we have public money available for upgrade our heating system or renovate our homes, but sometimes the information is not very well distributed. And for example, in France, I think they succeed on that, and people know about Ma Prime Rénov. I think that's important. I see for example, in comparison with Spain, that we have also this kind of schemes, but these schemes are happening at regional level. So in every region, they need to do a specific campaign to promote these schemes, and that is not going good. We have in some regional governments, people don't ask for these schemes, they don't apply, and that's a problem. We face, for example, we need to find a solution at the national level in these countries that is very working like in a federal way. So every region, they do their schemes, so they don't have a broader campaign to promote these schemes. So yeah, so even it's good to have these schemes, but also you need to promote it, and also of course make the things easy, for people to apply. That's why also the one-stop shops plays an important role in there.
Yeah, this is something that I was just going to comment on, because the thing is that in the recovery and resilience plan, for example, in Bulgaria, we saw a measure for solar thermal and small-scale PV systems. And the thing is that the application rate, like only the money were not spent, let's say it in that way, in the first period of the grant. Now we're waiting for the second one, because the thing is that there was just the application process was too hard, and even you had to buy the systems firsthand and then wait for your money to be reimbursed eventually, which is not really really a good measure, especially for people in energy poverty.
Exactly. No, yeah, you need to make the process as simple as possible. That's why this one-stop shop need to play a role in this. But also that made me, of course, think about what we said before, but we need to build on what already exists on the EPBD. Now we have an end date for the subsidies to support fossil fuel boilers in 2025, so next year. But there are exemptions, and also if you were talking about the recovery facility, and in these plans, what we are seeing is like many countries, they still promoting the fossil gas boilers because because it's more energy efficient than the ones that the people have. So of course, this is one of the first things that we need to really do to stop subsidizing the fossil fuels boilers.
Thank you, Monica. And I see that Nadia has asked something in the chat. Is already such active campaign in Bulgaria? yes, we could say that there are some campaign like that in Bulgaria with the one-stop shop network that should have been established. We have several one-stop shops in the country, and I can see even that we have representatives right now from Energy Agency of Plovdiv, which are running a one-stop shop campaign, which is really, really interesting. But we have several cities that are leading the way in Bulgaria, and especially I can, Burgas, say that Burgas is a really good example. Gabrovo, in Sofia, in Slatina municipality, they are doing a one-stop shop too. So yes, there are something happening in this direction, but it should be nationwide. It should be regional. It should be much more prominent. So yes, thank you. And if we have time for one or two more questions. So if you want to ask something, just use the you can use the opportunity right now. Otherwise, we're just going to close the webinar pretty soon.
Yeah, in the meantime, maybe just to say that, Svetoslav, that I would love to know more about these examples, these one-stop shops happening in Bulgaria, the different cases. So yeah, I will be very happy to learn about this. And because, yeah, it's knowing about the barriers and the problems also that they face in the implementation. So we can try to propose some solutions, right?
Yeah, we can always talk about it. We can always share information. We have an active campaign right now on one-stop shops and their promotion. Last year we did a tour in quite a lot of Bulgarian cities when we were informing the public on the opportunities, how they can finance building renovation, renewable energy, what are the current opportunities, what are the barriers, basically, what is going good, what is going wrong. We were trying to be kind of informative and to share everything that is happening, the good and the bad also. So we're going to continue to do so this year.
Very good.
So if there aren't any more questions, I'm really glad that you joined us today, and we're going to send you the link to the YouTube video that you can check later, and of course the link to the report in Bulgarian. So thank you, Monica, one more time, and we'll be in touch to discuss some other issues.
Thanks to you. Thanks for your engagement, and yeah, I'm happy to continue the discussions. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.